So hello, I'm Claire Clark. So I help business owners create planners, workbooks, notebooks, journals, any kind of book you write inside. And we use these as a cog within the rest of your business to grow your business, to bring leads in, they do all sorts of things. And in these videos where I'm bringing people on who've either done the course or they've done Few Service, who've created planners, journals and workbooks, to hear about who they are, what kind of books they've made. So you can get an insight to the kind of people that are making these books. So today we have Sarah. So hello, Sarah. Lovely to have you. Do tell everybody who you are and what you do.
I'm Sarah, and I've kind of got two jobs really, but they're sort of both linked into habits and behaviour change and achieving goals and stuff like that. So the main thing ultimately, I wanted a planner that worked for me. Because I was fed up with buying a new planner every couple of months because I was either not using it and things like that. So I thought, right, what do I want from a planner? What do I need? And this is where Claire's course is so good, is that it's not right, start here, here's page 1, page 2. It's okay, what do you want? How are you going to create that? And that's really, really important. So I've ended up designing a couple of planners now. And for me, it wasn't just for me to be able to use, but it was so that I could use them as a resource to get people to come in and see what I do. So as an example, I've got like a 90-day planner, but I've also got an annual planner, and anyone who buys one gets to come on a free workshop on how to use it, how to set goals, how to really make the most out of it, rather than just it ending up as an appointment book. It's okay, what am I focusing on this week? What are my key tasks? It's really helping people to get organised, whether it's organising their whole life, or whether it's kind of working towards goals that they want to achieve. So that was really, it was getting people in so that they can then come on and do other workshops that I offer, because they've seen how the planner works, but more importantly, how I work. So it gives them...
Let's see. Have you got one there? I haven't got any to show because I'm not in my office. So let's see the book that you're talking about. Yeah, cool.
I've got a couple. I've got the 90-day planner, and this one is 90 days. So it's about a quarter. And I've done a year overview because I think it's always nice just to sort of colour code things in, isn't it? And decide what they're doing. It's undated, but you've got like an overview of the quarter. So you can write down everything that you've got planned for the quarter, what your goals are, what your focus is, and key steps towards the goal. Because again, I think sometimes we'll say my goal is to do this by the end of the quarter, but we don't focus on those little steps. And this is where I wanted something that I would write down my focus, my business focus for this quarter, my personal focus for this quarter. So you really start to hone in on what you want, not just sort of say, oh yeah, next year I'd really like to do this. It's okay, so specifically, what do I want to do? How am I going to do it? How's it going to happen? Any other areas you want to focus on, and then there's a review. So personal wins, business wins, things that you still need to work on, ideas for new goals, but also things that you've decided to ditch, because that's another thing with life, is sometimes you're working towards something and you think, I don't want to do that, but it's kind of being able to write it down and say, right, I don't want to do that anymore, is like drawing a line under it. So I wanted it to be quite comprehensive. There's goals for the month, things that you must do this month. I mean, that might be phoning the gardener or submitting your tax return. It could be anything, but it's those must do things. There's an overview of each month. So this one's undated, so you just put the dates in. But I've done things for the month, like things to do more of, because again, it's like I really want to do more walking this month, or I want to do more social media planning. So it could be anything like that. So it's kind of everything in there. And there's like a little habit tracker as well, because
that's cool.
If you want to drink more water or eat more healthily, you can just sort of start to track. But this is where, because I offer the free workshop, it explains how to do it effectively rather than just writing down several things.
So just to jump in there, so just explain to us how you're using, because you mentioned a free workshop and you mentioned obviously telling about the planner. Just explain to us how you're using these in your business and how that works.
Basically, people can come along, and a lot of the business that I run is about setting goals, achieving outcomes, and just really moving step by step towards a life that you love.
Yeah.
I think particularly a lot of women have kind of fallen out of love with life a bit. It's you have kids, you've got so used to being mum, daughter, partner, business owner, you've kind of lost sight of who you are. And this is kind of a way of helping particularly women to get back into who they are and where they want to be. So it might be that they're thinking, right, what I'd really like to do is study again. So it's okay, so realistically that's 2 or 3 years away, but what can I be doing now? So it's what I do with the business is kind of help people move closer towards their ideal life, their life that they love, whereas the planner just sort of introduces them to the idea of organising themselves a bit better so that they've got time to follow their plans and dreams. Because again, I think for a lot of women, we fill our lives up with so much stuff that we've lost sight of what we want to do. Yeah. And you're so knackered at the end of the day. So it's the 90-day one. Every day is one page, so that you can time block. But again, so many people say, oh yeah, you want a time block. People don't know how to time block. And the first time I did it, it was brilliant. I time blocked. It was 0 time blocking, where you have not a minute in the day that's unblocked. And it got to the point where I was thinking, all right, 5 o'clock, time to prepare my meal.
And you always think things are going to take less time than they actually are. Yeah. So you time block every single minute of the day, and then you don't get everything. And you go, why didn't we get done? Because I time blocked everything. Because things take longer than you realise, and things happen, and kids end up being at school, and things change.
I got to meal prepping, and there's a meal planner in here as well.
Oh, that's brilliant.
I planned my weekly meals and everything like that, and I got there and I thought, oh, what I hadn't planned was shopping.
Oh yeah.
So it's also I work with people to create blank space, and again, it really is how to make the most out of this. How to use blank space so that if something comes up, you've got time to do it, or you've got time to move something else. Yeah. But it's creating that free space for yourself as well as for your business or your family life. And I think it's something that people forget is, you get to the end of the day and it's like, oh, I really wanted to do that, but I didn't have time. But it's treating what you want to do as a fixed appointment in the same way you would the dentist or a meeting with your accountant. The other thing I kind of do as well is I've only got like 3 to-do things a day, because I think we often will write mile-long to-do lists. Again,
you put too many in and you can't do it. Whereas 3
is manageable, and actually they should be working, at least one of them will be working towards. So that's kind of the 90-day one, and it takes you through 90 days, but it gets you in the habit of planning and using a planner effectively. Because as I say, so many people, you buy it with all these good intentions, and then you just end up scribbling down 10 o'clock dentist or appointments. And I think it's a missed opportunity to organise yourself.
And things get dropped and things get missed, don't they? So so I think you misunderstood my question. What I meant was, when I said how you're using this in your business, I didn't mean what are the outcomes for the person using the planner.
Oh, right, okay.
I meant how are you leveraging having a planner within your business rather than what the outcomes are for that person.
It's a lead magnet for me.
You've mentioned because we were talking about it before you came on the call about how, what you do with them and how you position them in the workshops and things. So talk us through that.
It's more of a lead magnet. So it's kind of like, here's my planner, buy it, come on one of my workshops. And then once people have come on that workshop, they can come on. I run
workshops
other
are free, aren't they? Your workshops, if they buy the book,
if they buy a planner, they get a planning workshop free, how to use it, absolutely free, 90 minutes. Usually 60 to 90 minutes, depends how much I talk. But after that, there are other ways that they can work with me. So either working one-to-one, just sort of, okay, right, this is what I want to achieve. And I'll help people break it down into small steps, or they can come on the group. I run quarterly little group things where they can sort of do a quarterly plan, really. But I do it slightly differently. I work with the seasons rather than dates. So I'll work from summer into autumn, because I think shifting energy, I'm all about, I think more and more now I'm getting back into sort of the energy of nature rather than things like that, because I think it becomes more efficient.
Yeah.
But it's, and that was really, you know, so, but I'll use them as prizes in competitions or things like that. But again, it's there's that offer of come along on a workshop. You don't have to, but
it's bringing people into your world, isn't it? Yeah. You also mentioned that when you're working with your VIP and your one-to-one clients, that these are things that you can send out to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, it's come along, do this workshop for this much money, or VIP it where you get a one-to-one session with me and a hard copy rather than a PDF that you print off yourself.
And that's so nice, isn't it? When you're working with somebody and you receive something through the post. I think a lot of us, you know, many of us have worked with people and have received something through the post and it feels really, really lovely. And often it's, you know, it's a thoughtful gift or it's a candle or it could be stationery maybe, but it's not very often something that is actually specifically made like a planner or even in the branding. So, you know, a lot of people that come on the course or do the done for you create these amazing planners, but we also might create a matching notebook as well. So if you're sending something like that to a VIP client or somebody you're working with, or, you know, somebody, you know, you want to send a gift to, it's amazing to receive something that not only looks and feels like the person that you're working with, it's on brand, it feels lovely, it's custom, and it has such an amazing effect on how you feel connected to that person when you have something physically arrive from them. So those of you that received things before will know how that feels, but just add the extra level of it looking and feeling like that business and being accustomed to what you're working on. And again, if that is something that you're going to be using while you're working together, it's just all the benefits are just stacking up, aren't they?
That's it. And my aim is eventually that I'll have a group where they're all using the planners and it's like, okay, Monday morning, here's a quick Facebook Live. Let's set our intentions for the week and things like that. But it brings people into wanting to do the one-to-one sessions and more work with me. But it's, well, you'll know this, won't you? Once you start creating things like planners and workbooks, you don't stop, because I've gone on to create several more purely because they're great little resources to have to give out, even if they don't necessarily sell. They're really, really useful resources for people that you can use to boost your business. And it's sometimes that's the value, isn't it?
The value sometimes is in that rather than like the direct royalties from the book. I mean, you know, they do sell and you get royalties from the book, but I think one of the big things that's missed sometimes when they're new to looking at how these books can work is they might do, and rightly so, they'll sit and crunch the numbers and they'll say, right, if I have this book and I sell it for this book, how much royalties am I going to get and how many do I need to sell to get my money back? And it just like gets me every time. It's just such a big missing piece, because yes, you know, it's good to do your numbers, but what you're not including in that is, well, how many people have now come and worked with you one-to-one on your high-end offer? How many people have now joined your membership and they've been in there for 12 months? That is also part of the return when it comes to your book. You know, I also believe that part of the return as well is your brand awareness. It's around, like you said, it's a lead magnet. It's so for those who've not heard of that term, lead magnet is where you're drawing people in with something, you're drawing people into your world. And if people are curious about you, sometimes they just need a very comfortable, risk-free entryway into your business. And we know, don't you, you know, we can do things like this, like these lives, we can do calls, or we can do, you know, other things. But sometimes people are a bit worried, like, especially with maybe a discovery call or a little chat, they might be like, yeah, but is she going to sell to me? Because I don't really know her yet. Whereas if you're like, hey, I've got this planner, people like won't even think twice about buying a planner or a notebook or journal or workbook, because they know they're not going to be pushed outside their comfort zone, because they know what that is. They understand that they're going to pay some money, a book is going to arrive and they're going to use it. And this is why I get so passionate about these books to use to grow your business, because people won't think twice about buying one. And then what that does is that warms them up, it brings them into your world, and they're more likely to buy from you again because they've bought from that, you know. And the way that we position books to bring people to wherever you want them to be, your Facebook group, your page, whatever, is such an amazing tool, really. Everybody just needs to have one.
That's it. But it's also my other business. I run specialist training for fitness and health professionals. And again, I'm about to sort of launch some brand new courses, but I can create a workbook that follows the course exactly. It's not like a notebook. We've all got notebooks from conferences, from courses and things like that, that you never find the bit you're looking for again. But this will be specific to each module. Each
fill
module
this in here, fill this in here, fill this in here. When you go back to it, I want that bit. I can find that bit.
That's it. And so it makes it much more straightforward. But again, for people who are doing online courses, which we're all moving towards now, it means they're getting a tangible resource that they can work with, and they're like, oh right, we covered that module 1. So the module breakdown of the modules is in there, so they can look at the index and say, oh right, yeah, that was module 3, page 7. That's where I made my notes. And it's not like having a book, because there'll be a manual, but
it's different,
also,
isn't it?
They'll have their notes of how they've interpreted it, and that's really important. But again, it creates value for the course.
Absolutely,
rather than, like I say, we've all got scrubby little notebooks that end up in a cupboard somewhere, whereas a dedicated workbook that walks you through the stages is so important. So anybody who's doing any kind of training or teaching or courses, that they want their own workbook, it's a no-brainer really, because you can create something that's meaningful, that's useful, but that then they'll start thinking, oh, well, I really like that workbook, so maybe the planner's the one I want to go to now. Maybe I'll go for X or Y. So it spreads out, and as I say, it makes you stand apart from other people, because you're getting a nice resource.
And have you ever been on a course where each week, or you're given at the beginning, you login area, you can see all the PDFs, and this is a bit of a bugbear of mine, and you print them out at home, and then your printer runs out of ink, or the printer leaves a big streak down the middle, and it just doesn't look and feel nice, does it? And you have all these loose sheets, and then you're getting all mixed up, and isn't it much better than, rather having those, is this beautiful book arrives? You're not going to lose pages. It's an extension of that person's business. So if it's you that was sending it's an extension of your business and of who you are. And if it looks and feels as amazing as you are, you're going to have a total different experience and perception of it, aren't you?
Absolutely. I'm just looking in the corner at the moment, because I'm doing a course at the moment, and I've got bits of paper left, right and centre.
It's annoying, isn't it?
It's and I've printed it off on different sizes, and there's blank pages in there, and it just ends up with a mound of paper, and I know I won't go back to it in the same way, because it's not a book.
It's not all together. And when you have that amazing front cover and it's a PDF, and you're like, I'm not printing that because it's going to use loads of ink. So you're like, print, skip page 1. And then you're like, well, you're not getting the whole experience. That person spent all that time to make this amazing cover, and it's like, skip, I'm not printing that page because it's going to use so much ink.
And it is. And if you're designing your own training and things like that, then exactly, the key points that people want to do. You know what you want, you can have sections with key points or notes or my interpretation, whatever, but you can really tailor the workbook to different learning styles as well. So people can doodle or
you can do anything you want. It's like it's totally up to you. I mean, so you did the branded business books course, and so you came on the course to create your planner. So how did you find that course? Did you enjoy it?
Oh, so useful. So much more to it than you think. I mean, I know there's other courses out there, but I think they're really, really short. But your course went into so much more detail about the whole process, not just design it.
Book on Amazon.
It was much more. It was about using the categories. It was about what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. But the thing that's really, really good is you can go back and find the specific bit that you think, oh, hang on a minute, how do I do that?
Bite size.
So but it was also the different sizes, making it look good, and how to use different formats, different everything. It was so, like you say, bite size, but it covers everything. And it wasn't overwhelming.
Oh, good.
And it wasn't kind of, here it all is, off you go and do it, because I'm not, how can I put it? I'm the sort of learner that I need to see it
together.
I need to do it. I need to listen to other people's questions.
Yeah.
I can't always come up with my own questions. So,
Immersive. Yeah.
But it was really, really good because other people were asking questions, which meant that there were things you go, oh, I didn't know I needed to ask that question, but I'm glad they did. But you could come back in and say, how do I do this again? And you could go back and, like I say, I need to see it, think about it, and do it before I get it. And then once I've got it, I've got it. I don't have to think about it.
Again. And once you've got it. It's a rinse and repeat product. So course, if you know what I mean. But it was like, you don't need to do that course again to make more books. So once you've done that course, you've learned that course, you can now make as many books as you want. It's a rinse and repeat process. And if, like, you know, you're going to go off and do other stuff in your business, you're not going to be making books all the time. You've got a business to run. You might have you know, you might go, I'm ready to make another book again. And be like, oh, I can't quite remember something. Well, you've got two things. You've got be able to dip into the bite size and find that one little video that can tell you that answer. Or you're also in the alumni, aren't you? Which is a group just for people who have done the course, where you can just jump in and go, oh, I'm making a book again. Can someone just remind me? Or can someone look at this? Or can you just, you know, what do you think to this? And get that advice. And again, we have calls in there, don't we?
The alumni is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I have to say, it's almost
better than the course.
Well, it kind of, I mean, obviously the course is brilliant and you've got that, but with the alumni, you can literally go in and say, is there an easy way of adding page numbers to Canva? And people will come back and go, no.
Do this. Yeah, and because things change all the time. Things change all the time with the platforms. So I am always making books. This is my business. Everybody in the alumni and the course, they're not making books all the time. They've got other businesses to run. So I am in this world all the time. So I see what the changes are on the platforms. I see what trends are happening. I see that what is working, what's not working anymore. I've got an ear to the ground to it. So I come in and there might be things like, oh, I just want to let you know now we can do this now, or this is a new way to do whatever, and those kind of things. And I wanted to make sure that I was still holding you after that course, that if you want to go on, because things change and I don't want you to, And
you want to be able to come back and ask questions as well, because you do. There will be things that you completely forget that fall out of your head. And having the facility, having the alumni means you can come in and ask questions. And if somebody will answer, usually you. But the good thing is, like there's been a couple of things recently that you've flagged up to people to say, really, really be careful with this.
I've jumped in and gone, right, this has changed, this is new, this has happened. I want to let you know, if this is you need to do this.
I wouldn't have known.
And there's been times when I've gone in and gone, right, I need to tell you about this, but I don't know what the answer is yet, but I'm on it. But I'm just letting you know because this has changed, or this and this.
That's it. It isn't just do it this way forever. Things change.
It's a nice
community. And the rules change. So the alumni is really, I mean, if anybody's doing the course, then the alumni is a no-brainer really, because even if you only ask a question every now and then, there's still information in there that you will need, and that could save you a lot of hassle.
A lot of hassle. I love it in there. Being surrounded by other people making books, makes my heart sing. So my laptop has just told me that the battery's going to die. So I can't get to my charger. So just let's finish up, because we have been a while anyway. So Sarah, where can people get more of you so they can learn more about your business, what you do, and your book? And I will add those details into comments somewhere around at some point.
If you Google my name, I usually pop up. But my website's www.fabulous.com. So it
shows your book again, fabulous.com. And if you're interested in doing the course that they've done for you, then you can find me at iamclareclark.co.uk. I'm going to get all of Sarah's links and I'm going to put them into the comments so that you can see. I'm going to get a link to her book and put that in here. All my links. If anybody's got any questions for either of us, do reach out to either of us. I'm sure Sarah won't mind replying. Really, really quickly, last thought of the day, Sarah. If someone is thinking about creating a book for their business, either on the course or the Done For You service, what would you say?
Definitely do it, because even if you've only got one in mind now, I guarantee you will find, but also you will think of other ways of doing this and using it to promote your business as well. So give it a go. It's worth it.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Sarah. Sorry to cut you short, but I thought we'd rather finish before the laptop cuts us out. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you all soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye.